Elon Musk's Twitter, now known as X, has just taken a shocking turn. The same man who promised free speech is now banning users for spreading fake news about him. What happened? Why the sudden shift? Stick around as we dive deep into Musk's meltdown and the chaos unfolding on his platform. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You won't want to miss this.
You won't believe what's unfolding right now with Elon Musk. If you've been following his journey with Twitter, now known as X, you're going to want to sit down for this, because what's happening right now is nothing short of remarkable. The very man who took over Twitter with the promise of creating a free speech town square is now facing backlash of his own making. He is reportedly banning users left and right for spreading false information about him. The irony in this situation is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Just 2 years ago, when he purchased Twitter, he promised to remove all the content moderation systems that were in place, giving users the freedom to speak without restraint. Now, fast forward to today, and Musk seems to be struggling with the very thing he once advocated for: the consequences of absolute free speech. Before we get into all of this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on stories like this. This is one you won't want to miss. Let's dive into the full story and examine what's happening right now. It all began late one night when Musk went on what can only be described as a bit of a meltdown on his own platform. A series of tweets from the CEO of X started to raise a lot of questions, not just because of what he was saying, but also because of how he was reacting to something that he had essentially invited upon himself. Let's rewind for a moment. When Musk took over Twitter, he removed several content moderation rules that were designed to keep harmful misinformation, hate speech, and extremist content at bay. He claimed that by doing so, he was empowering individuals to freely express their opinions and engage in open dialogue, no matter how controversial. But now, those decisions have come back to haunt him. What's gotten Musk so worked up? Thousands of users have been posting fake tweets attributed to him. These fabricated tweets have gone viral, with tens of thousands of likes, shares, and comments, and Musk is clearly struggling to keep things under control. It seems that Musk is now facing the very consequences of a situation that he helped create. For years, he allowed misinformation to spread freely on his platform, even suggesting that people should be able to judge for themselves what is true or false. This was part of his vision for X, where users would have the freedom to speak their minds without fear of being censored. However, that same freedom is now coming back to bite him, and he seems unprepared for how to deal with it. It's almost as if Musk never anticipated that false information would not just target others, but that it would be aimed at him personally. And, as the disinformation campaign against him has picked up steam, Musk has shifted from being a supporter of free speech to taking aggressive measures to shut it down, especially when it impacts his image. Late one night, Musk posted a tweet quoting a line from the movie Tropic Thunder where Robert Downey Jr.'s character says, "Go F*** yourself in the face." While this might be a playful reference to a comedy film, it also signals just how rattled Musk has become by the situation. It's hard to imagine this is the response Musk had in mind when he first bought Twitter. The same platform that once stood as a beacon for free expression and open dialogue is now in the middle of a PR nightmare. Musk, who once advocated for a platform without heavy-handed censorship, has now become the very thing he once criticized: a censor. The irony is almost unbearable. As Musk frantically tries to defend himself, it's becoming clear that he's attempting to silence voices that disagree with him. One of the key incidents that sparked this chain reaction involved a fake tweet attributed to Musk, which claimed he had made some disparaging remarks about investing in America. This tweet was completely fabricated, and anyone with a basic understanding of how Twitter works could have seen that it was a hoax. However, that didn't stop it from going viral, and soon enough, it was being shared by thousands of people. Musk himself confronted a user who had shared this tweet, asking them where they found it. The user replied that they had seen it on Reddit. Musk immediately dismissed them as a liar, and within an hour, the user's account was suspended. It's clear that Musk is in full damage control mode now, but the situation is beginning to spiral out of control. Here's where the problem gets even more interesting. For years, disinformation has been an issue on the platform, but Musk has largely ignored it. He allowed harmful and often dangerous content, including Nazi propaganda and hate speech, to thrive unchecked. In fact, Musk's stance on these issues was that people should have the right to say whatever they want, even if it was harmful or factually incorrect. He argued that the marketplace of ideas would sort things out and that users should be trusted to make up their own minds. But now that he's faced with a situation where misinformation is directed at him, Musk's views on free speech seem to have shifted dramatically. Instead of empowering users to discern truth from falsehood, he's now taking swift action to remove the content that he doesn't like. This is a textbook case of hypocrisy. Musk allowed the spread of disinformation for years when it suited him, but when it hurts his reputation, he acts quickly to stop it. It's not just about the fake tweet incident. There have been multiple reports of users being banned or suspended for sharing what Musk considers to be false information about him. The floodgates of disinformation have opened wide, and now Musk is acting like the ultimate arbiter of truth, deciding which information can and can't be allowed on his platform. And this, in itself, is troubling. By banning accounts for spreading false information about him, Musk is essentially admitting that he's not willing to let the marketplace of ideas do its job. Instead, he's taking control of the narrative and deciding what people should and should not be able to see. This is a dangerous precedent, especially for a platform that was once celebrated for its commitment to free speech. In addition to the disinformation about him, Musk's position on immigration has also become a point of contention. He recently tweeted about the importance of H-1B visas, praising the contributions of skilled foreign workers to the U.S. economy. Musk argued that high-skilled immigrants are crucial to the success of companies like Tesla and SpaceX, which rely on talented engineers and technicians from around the world. This view is not new for Musk. He's been a vocal advocate for high-skilled immigration for years. On the surface, his argument makes sense. After all, many of the world's most successful tech companies have been built by immigrants who brought their expertise to the U.S. But the problem lies in the contradiction between Musk's stance on immigration and his views on education. While Musk supports the influx of foreign talent, he has also been critical of the U.S. education system. He's called for the elimination of the Department of Education and has proposed slashing funding for public schools. Musk seems to believe that Americans are too focused on a traditional education and that the system doesn't produce enough engineers or innovators. He also seems to be advocating for a reliance on foreign workers to fill the gap. But this position doesn't add up. If Musk believes that the U.S. education system is inadequate, how can he simultaneously argue that the solution is to import talent from other countries? It's a contradiction that undermines his argument. In order to build a sustainable future for American innovation, Musk would need to balance both educating American students and attracting the best talent from around the world. But Musk's stance suggests that he's more interested in exploiting cheap labor than investing in the domestic workforce. This is where the real hypocrisy comes into play. Musk wants the best and brightest engineers to come to the U.S. on H-1B visas to work for companies like his, but at the same time, he's working to dismantle the very system that could create those engineers domestically. This contradiction speaks to a larger issue with Musk's approach to leadership and his lack of a coherent vision for the future. While Musk has done amazing things with his companies, he often seems to operate in a vacuum, making decisions that benefit him and his companies without regard for the long-term consequences. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. Musk's recent actions have created a divide not only within his own platform but also within his ideological base. Many of Musk's supporters, particularly those on the far right, have found themselves at odds with him. For example, Musk's decision to ban accounts associated with the far-right commentator Nick Fuentes has sparked a backlash from his most ardent followers. These users, who have long supported Musk for his stance on free speech, are now accusing him of hypocrisy. It's almost poetic to see Musk, who once allowed far-right extremists to flourish on his platform, now banning them when their views challenge his own. This dramatic turn of events has led to a deep schism within the platform. Musk, who was once seen as a champion of free speech, is now being criticized for suppressing the very voices that once cheered him on. In many ways, this reflects the broader shift in Musk's philosophy. While he once touted himself as a champion of open dialogue, he now seems more interested in controlling the narrative and silencing those who disagree with him. It's a stark contrast to the principles of free speech that he claimed to hold dear when he first took over Twitter. In the end, Musk's actions have exposed a deep flaw in his leadership. While he may have built some of the most innovative companies in the world, he's now facing the consequences of his own decisions. Whether it's his approach to free speech, his stance on immigration, or his handling of disinformation, Musk's leadership is increasingly being called into question. The events of the past few days are a stark reminder that even the most powerful figures in the world are not immune to the consequences of their actions. So, where do we go from here? Can Musk recover from this debacle? Or is his platform doomed to implode under the weight of its own contradictions? One thing is clear. The story of Elon Musk and his chaotic reign over X is far from over. As the drama continues to unfold, we'll be here to bring you the latest updates. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more news on this story and others like it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.